You know, this world can be a pretty scary place. Things happen. Horrible things can happen to us. Horrible things can happen to those that we really love and care about. Things go bump and thump in the night. We get scared. And sometimes we just need a safe place. Sometimes we need a place that we can run to and just be safe. And just feel like, okay, everything is going to be okay. Well, in the Bible, there's a verse that talks about the ultimate forever safe place. And it's in 1 John chapter 2, verses 24 and 25. And it says this: "Let the good news, the story that you have heard from the beginning of your journey, live in and take hold of you." If that happens and you focus on the good news, then you will always remain in a relationship with the Son and the Father. This is what He promised us, eternal life. Okay, so there's safety in the story. The story of God gives us safety. So we need to get into the story and let it get into us. We need to live in it. We need to take hold of it. Here's the story. It's really simple. Once upon a time, there was a good king who came to rescue the people that he loved so that they could live happily ever after. There it is. That's the good news. Focus on the good news. Focus on the story. And let God weave His word into your story until it's indistinguishable. Until you can't tell your story from His story. His story has become your story. And that's a safe place. And it talks about, here's our safe place. Here's what God has promised us. Eternal life. And eternal life isn't all about heaven. A lot of times we think it is. A lot of times when we think of eternal life, we think, okay, I'm going to live forever in heaven and everything's going to be peachy and that's cool. And that's true. But eternal life begins the minute we start a friendship with God. Eternal life isn't all about heaven. It's about having a relationship with God. Living in sync with Him. It starts the minute you initiate and respond to His invitation to do life with Him. Okay, heaven is just a much better view with no problems. But eternal life begins the nanosecond that you start a friendship with God. And the kingdom of heaven starts moving into the kingdom of you. And so we let the kingdom of heaven start to crowd out everything else and cling to the story and cling to the promises, even when things are really tough and we know life is hard, but we know it's going to get better because the kingdom of heaven is taking over. And the kingdom of heaven is moving into us and it's crowding everything else out until it eventually is going to take over and we will move into the good seats. But don't wait for heaven, okay? Initiate that relationship now and get to know God now. Get to know Jesus now. Do life with Him. That is the promise we have. That's the safe place that we have been promised. And then when life is hard, remember the story. The story of God that becomes the story of us. God bless you guys. Giddy up.